And I totally understand why people are upset when Barack Obama, with just a stroke of a pen through executive action, takes unconstitutional actions.
What about that? Would you reverse that if you became president?
Absolutely, I would. Of course.
But how would you undo it once those folks are here
Passing
and they're
meaningful reform of immigration and make it part of it.
All right, there you go, folks. Joining us now is Larry Kudlow, CNBC senior contributor, host of the Larry Kudlow Show. Larry, before we get to the free trade bill that was blocked by the Democrats in the Senate today, and welcome aboard as always, my friend. Let me ask you about, I know you tweeted out a lot while this interview was airing on Fox with Megyn Kelly. This is just one thing that stood out to me on immigration, of course, when he was asked how he would undo the president's what he called illegal or unconstitutional executive order on immigration. He said he would get comprehensive legislation passed. He didn't say he would stroke his pen and overturn it.
Well, okay, I'm not sure. It just sounded to me like he was against the executive action as unconstitutional.
Yes.
And I think what he's saying is he wants his own comprehensive bill, which is unpopular in some circles and more popular in other circles. But he's definitely going to overturn the executive action. He acknowledges correctly that this is extra legal, it's extra constitutional, and you can't govern that way. So I think he took the right whack at Obama. The most interesting thing I heard on that whole issue of immigration, some sense new from Bush, he's saying his immigration policy would be legal visas, legal immigrants on an economic or skills base, not a family base.
Yes, he said that.
For years we've done it on a family base. So your ninth cousin, your 22nd niece, and so forth can all come into America, and you'll never see them again. And that's crazy. So what he's saying is, no, we're going to look at economics, we're going to look at skills. Other countries do the same thing. No more family-based immigration. He's talking about legal immigration. I think he's right. I think that's a sensible policy.
All right, but you have no problem with him not saying I will immediately overturn Obama's executive order? If it's illegal, why not overturn it?
I know, I agree. I wish he would overturn it, and I wish he would make that pledge that he would overturn it. So it was very, very, very clear. I mean, look, I thought Jeb has pulled back somewhat. If you go back, 6 months, 9 months, he was talking about citizenship, a process of citizenship. Now he's talking about a process of legalizing the 11, 12, 13 million illegals who are already here. You got to speak English, you got to know some history, you got to pay your taxes, no criminal record. But he has moved back from citizenship to legalization, so that's a concession of sorts.
All right, let's move on to something else he said real quick. He still refuses, I don't know that this was Megyn Kelly's interview, but he's still refusing to say that he will not raise taxes on the quote-unquote rich and wealthy. Is that going to harm him going forward?
No, I think it's great. I think he should refuse to say
Why?
He won't raise taxes. He's not going to raise.
Why?
He should. I think he's exactly right. I think his plan is to lower tax rates and broaden the base, get rid of the deductions. I mean, I think Bush, he's never said this explicitly, but I think he's pretty sympathetic to the flat tax. And when I talk to him, he talks about lower rates. So why would he want to tax the rich? He's not a redistributionist.
So by him not pledging no new taxes, and this goes back to Georgia.
Oh, you're talking about the Grover Norquist pledge. I wish he would make the Grover Norquist.
Oh, you want him to? Yeah, because
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Will it hurt him? Because he's not saying I will not raise taxes on the rich. He's leaving it open.
Well, yeah, I think the chances of him raising taxes on the rich are nil.
But he should take the pledge.
I would take the pledge.
Yeah.
I like the pledge. By the way, there's another pledge circulating around by my friend Amity Schlaze. There should be a no bailout pledge, okay, with respect to banks and corporations. Amity's talking about a no bailout pledge, which I really love. So, yes, no tax hikes. He should make that pledge. No bailout. The other thing,
and no tax hike, no bailout, and pledge to overturn the executive order.
Yes,
so you want him to take 3 pledges?
I would. I think that would help his bona fides. With conservatives, including myself.
Right.
One thing I don't get also, I just want to add one more thing. This Common Core business. Jeb Bush has a great track record on school choice, all right? He has a great track record on charter schools. But he knows that the teachers union runs the Department of Education in Washington. He knows that because he fought them in Florida. So if you know the teachers union runs the Department of Education, then you also know they want to set performance standards and the curriculum right down to the local level. That's what's got conservatives worried. And I think that's a legitimate worry. And I don't understand why Jeb doesn't really nail the teachers union and say, I'm not going to federalize education policy. Just say it. He would be so much better shape.
So you want 4 pledges. Don't
Well,
federalize education, right?
You know, you run for president, Steve, you got to have an agenda.
Yeah.
And these are pledges.
Yeah.
They're what they are is a policy agenda.
Yep.
And you got to communicate to the people who you are, what you believe in, and what you stand for, so that if you win, here's what I will do.
And by the
You
way,
need
Larry,
clarity.
are these pledges something you'd like to hear from all of the candidates
Yes.
on the Republican side?
Yes,
Okay, not just Jeb.
absolutely.
Okay.
All
All right.
of them. I'm not singling out Jeb.
Yeah.
I actually like Jeb.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
endorsing anybody.
All right, let's move to what happened in the Senate today. They failed to move forward because of the Democrats. They all voted against, for most of them did, moving forward with Obama's free trade bill. You think that's a bad thing?
I do. First of all, they're using a red herring here, a poison pill, and that's China's so-called currency manipulation, even though I don't think China has done that in 10 years. So China is not even in this deal. So to talk about currency manipulation is to throw up a roadblock. As I said, it's a poison pill, and it's going to stop the process. Now, look, not everybody agrees with me, Steve Malzberg, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm a free trader. You lower tariffs, that's a tax cut for each country. And in the USA, that's a tax cut and a price cut for consumers who import, and it opens up export markets for our businesses so we can create more jobs as we produce more goods. Free trade is pro-growth. And what the Democrats are doing here is they're making the economy worse.
Okay, my friend, great talk, great conversation. As always, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, Larry Kudlow, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting. Lots to talk about. Up next, we'll talk about some of it and more with political consultant and Newsmax contributor Dick Morris. Don't go away.